to have a pen and paper handy for today. As we finish our physical practice, we're going to have a little guided meditation. And then sometimes it's nice to write down any thoughts that come up. That's optional, of course. All right, so as we get started, maybe you have a scented candle burning or something that just makes this space special. Maybe you just roll out your mat and it already feels special. That's good too. So we're going to begin to warm up, first coming into child's pose. So you can take a wide knee child's pose as you're ready. Big toes at the back of the mat. Send your hips back. Let your forehead come to the earth. Have a slight bend in your arms. There's no need to be straight and stiff right now. So just begin to prep yourself for your practice. Come to stillness and silence. Let everything go that you were thinking about or doing before you came to practice. And just try to be present as you sit back in your child's pose. Allow your breath to move through you now, almost like a wind, a nice, gentle, warm wind blowing through your body. And as it blows through your body, let it open up space. Everything we do today is going to be to prepare us for that final meditation at the end of the class. So imagine the breath moving and opening up space in your body and your mind through everything that we do. Let's take a few more rounds of breath. And then still in our child's pose, observe your hips as you begin to rock left and right, just letting your body rock gently from the left to the right, still in child's pose. Also getting a little massage on your forehead. Coming back to the center. Now let's slowly come up to tabletop and bring your knees under your hips. Now from here, we're just going to slow and steady walk our hands off to the right side of the mat or the floor. And push your hips back towards the opposite, towards the left. Deepen your breath. Remember, the breath is like a nice, warm, gentle wind, opening up space in our body and our mind today. All right, find your way back to the middle. And we'll begin to walk our hands off to the left and bump our hips over to the right. And we'll go directly back to tabletop position. Have your hands nice and widespread, or beyond fists. That's always an alternative if you have a wrist injury. Come to tabletop position. Now inhale, lift your sitting bones to the sky and draw your shoulder blades down your back. And lift your gaze. Now exhale, round your spine towards the ceiling and lift your navel up towards your spine. Look back at your belly. Let's do a couple more slow, and then I'll let you set the pace you like. Again, begin to lift your sitting bones. Let your shoulder blades slide down your back. Lift your gaze. That just doesn't mean you have to stretch your head back. Just lift your eyes, stretch your eyes. Now exhale, round your spine towards the ceiling. Lift your navel to your spine. This is our cat pose. Now you guys take it from here, but do about 6 more. Any speed that you'd like to do them. Last one of each. And then come to tabletop and feel free to change the position of your knees, maybe wider, maybe not. And just begin to make some nice big circles now. And do about 6 circles in one direction. You can always do more. Focus is on the hips, low back, and then make your circles in the opposite direction. Focus is still on your hips and your low back. Now let's begin to make the circle slower or smaller so you're not moving anymore. Come back to your tabletop position. And focus is on the shoulders now. We're going to thread that left arm under the right, taking that, threading the needle. You can be up on your right fingertips or any other variation. You can bind your arm. Let's take a few breaths here, threading the needle. Again, focusing on the wind of your breath to make space, to open up, to let the light in. Right, we'll press up slowly and get ready to thread the other side. This time the right arm threads under the left. And you can be up on your left fingertips, or you can take that bind, any version you'd like. And pressing all the way back up to that tabletop position. And when you're ready, back to child's pose. You have the choice of opening the knees wide or not. This time, try and straighten your arms and bring your forehead directly to the mat. Perhaps you're holding the edges of your mat and stretching yourself out. Perhaps your fingers are, you're clawing your fingertips. Any way you want to play with your fingers and your hands in child's pose. Try to find the focus of the sound of the wind of your breath. Make it sound and feel like a nice wind. All right, the focus is now on putting the palms flat down and coming up and forward till your stomach's on the mat. And then press your hands lightly into the mat, come up either to a low cobra and then release down. You can play with that a couple times or come up a little higher. So opening your chest, gently lifting your abdominals off the mat, or just your chest off the mat, whatever you choose. So we're doing a few cobras here. Make sure your head and neck feel soft. Last one. And then the focus is on releasing softly to the ground and pressing up and back to a down dog. So do it in stages. Widespread fingers, tuck your toes, lift your sitting bones toward the ceiling, and find what you need here. Any warm-ups that you need. Find a little stillness in down dog, pressing away from the floor, letting your heels stretch down towards the earth. And then gently lower down to your knees and hands again. Step your right foot to the front of the mat for Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Place both hands on the front leg on the right knee and just find a little, your back toes can be tucked or flat actually, whatever you prefer on the left toes. Find a little lift in your spine. Feel the rise and fall of your breathing, the wind of your breath. And then in a moment, we'll release our hands back down to the floor. Now we tuck the left toes and we come up to high lunge. Extend your right arm up towards the ceiling and take a twist. One more breath as we reach the right arm towards the ceiling, and then get ready to exhale. Bring your left knee down and bring both hands inside the right foot for lizard lunge. So coming into lizard lunge with your hands under your shoulders, turn your right foot out and drop your right knee out to the right. Just let it fall to the right. You can stay supported on your fingertips or your hands, or you can come down to your forearms. Deep focus on the hips here. Few more breaths in lizard lunge. All right, from lizard lunge, we're going to take a variation. So stay in your lizard lunge, supporting yourself on the hands for now. And we're going to take the right arm and just begin to stretch it back, reaching back. And then if you can, we'll bend your left leg and maybe try and find the foot. You might get a cramp. So if you get a cramp, that's okay. Just let it go and rest, or maybe try it again, or maybe adjust your legs. So we have this variation of the lizard lunge with the shoulders opening, the chest, and the quad stretch. All right, we'll release that foot if you're holding it. If not, you're just reaching your arm back. We'll release both hands down, walk the right foot in. Step your right knee back, and then press yourself back to another down dog. Take a moment to stretch your legs out. And do what you need here, maybe heels and toes, rocking forward and back, maybe taking your legs for your dog for a walk. And then again, dropping down to the knees. We'll do the other side now. Step the left foot forward, low lunge, and bring both hands to the top of that left thigh. And again, you'll notice your back foot can be flat on the floor, or you can tuck your toes, whatever you like. Let your shoulders relax and soften. Last breath here. And then we bring both hands down on either side of that left foot. Tuck your right toes, come up to high lunge. From there, raise your left arm to the ceiling. Revolve the high lunge. Deep breaths. We'll slowly come down and come into lizard lunge on the left side. So hands inside the left foot, turn your left foot out. Your left knee is turned out, your left leg is bent, and you can either stay on your fingertips, or your hands, or your forearms. Let your left knee fall open to the left. Three more breaths in the lizard lunge. 1, 2, and 3. And then remember, we're coming up to our hands or fingertips now, and we will stretch the left arm back. Maybe just do this. Hold here for a few breaths, or maybe bend the right leg and find the foot. Any variation you'd like. Few breaths here. And get ready to release. And bring your hands back down to the mat and step your left knee to meet the right. And let's take one more wide kneed or narrow kneed child's pose, whatever you prefer. A chance to come back to your breathing. Just 2 more breaths here. And then slowly up. And once again, our downward dog. So taking it back to downward dog. All right, from downward dog, look towards the space between your hands and bring your feet up. Slowly walk them or step them. Bring your feet up towards your hands and find flat back. You can let your fingertips be on the ground, or you can bring them to your shins or above your knees. Steady breaths as you find your flat back. And then as you exhale, soften your knees and find forward fold. Now I want you to find your flat back again, the one that feels best to you. Your fingertips or hands can be connecting to the mat or to the earth, or they can be on your legs. Just be present in the moment. And then again, we'll find forward fold, soften the knees, and fold forward. Now slowly roll up away from the ground. Steady breath, steady movement as we come all the way up. And you'll be at the very front part of your mat. Now, as we get ready to take a few sun salutations, just begin by grounding your feet. Spreading your toes, pressing into the balls of your big toes, your baby toe, and your heel. Feel the rising and falling of your breath. And then we'll begin to move forward and back on the toes and the heels. And then once again, find your mountain pose. For this flow, we're going to bend the knees, lower the hips, and then stretch all the way up, press the palms. And then we're going to bend the knees and fold forward. Come to your flat back again. And then bring your fingers to the earth as you fold. Now we're going to step back to a plank, high or low. And as you find your plank pose, don't hold your breath, keep breathing. And then lower down. And then again, find your cobra, which we practiced earlier. It could be a low one, or you can try to straighten your arms. And then again, back to downward facing dog. Look back at your feet. 2 more breaths. Gaze forward and bring your feet forward. Find your flat back again, lifting your chest away from the ground. Release, forward fold. Inhale, take the arms all the way up, slowly circling them all the way out and up. And palms touch overhead, hands to your heart. That was one. That was one wonderful sun salutation. We're going to do maybe 1 or 2 or 3 more and then move on. All right, let your arms relax. Steady flow, steady breath. We bend the knees, drop the hips. Inhale, begin to stretch the arms up towards the ceiling. And then we exhale and swan dive forward. We reach flat back. And then we touch the ground and fold. We step back to plank, knees up from the mat or on the mat. Then we drop down. Cobra pose, your choice. Feel your chest open. Back to downward facing dog. Take 2 breaths. Begin to look forward. Step forward, find your flat back. And then move right into your forward fold with your next exhale. With your inhale, take it all the way up, palms press directly overhead, and then bring palms to heart. Keep it going. Relax your arms. Bend the knees, drop your hips. Inhale, stretch the arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, flat back. Connect to the earth. Forward fold. Step back plank. Knees can be up or down. Lower the chest. Heel the chest up, cobra, or maybe up dog. Back to downward dog. Inhale. Make space. Exhale. Release any stress. Gaze forward. Step forward. Find the flat back. Let your spine be long. Exhale. Be present. Touch the earth. Inhale. Reach for the sky. Exhale. Hands to heart. Now, I'm going to give you space to do one on your own, and we'll meet in mountain pose. So please feel free to do it at any pace you'd like, just one sun salutation when you're ready. It's a beautiful way to connect to your own body, your own breath without me talking and guiding you. I'll catch up with you in mountain pose, hands to the heart. Take your time. And once you get there, relax your arms by your side. Good work. Let's step out to the long side of the mat now. So you might be changing directions. Wide stance with your feet. Toes point straight ahead. This is a practice in breath now. So of course we're moving, but focus is on the wind of your breath. I want you to think about inhaling for 6 counts and exhaling for 6. So let's begin. Inhale. Hopefully that was about 6. And then exhale, slowly 6. Keep it going. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last one. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now float your arms halfway, please. And as you reach your arms halfway in line with your shoulders, think about hinging forward and then dropping forward, reaching for your ankles. As you reach for your ankles, let the crown of your head reach for the earth. And complete a couple breath cycles here. Your arms may be bent, your elbows bent, your legs working on being straight. And then the opposite of that, let your legs bend so you turn your knees out and drop a little deeper into like a squat. And then lift your sitting bones again, straighten your legs. You can bend your arms as you hold onto your ankles or not. And then once again, we'll bend the legs like a squat. And then once again, we'll straighten the legs. Good job. Bring your hands to your hips. Press yourself all the way up. And relax, arms by our side once again. This time we'll inhale, raise the arms overhead, and keep them straight right alongside your ears, palms apart. And we're going to begin to bend the right knee and kind of sweep the arms down like you're sweeping the floor. And then bend the left and take it all the way. You might have to turn your toes out a little. So we're making a big circle, sweeping the floor all the way down and up. You can continue at that slow breath, 6 up and 6 down. Let's do one more in this direction. And take it all the way back up and reset. So now that you know what we're doing, let's go the other direction. Begin to bend your left knee. Taking it all the way around and up. Clearing it out. Let's do one more big circle. And take it all the way up once again. Now bring your hands down by your sides and turn out the toes and knees as we get ready for goddess pose. Press down on your hips or your thighs. Toes are turned out, knees are turned out. And then I want you to think about pulsing up slowly and then dropping down a little faster. So slowly, maybe 1, 2, 3, lift, and then sink down. Do it one more time. Slowly up and then sink down. Now come up a little faster and slowly come down. Lift up and slowly come down. Last one. Lift up a little and slowly come down. Bring your hands to your heart. Take a breath or two. And then slowly circle the arms and come all the way up. Palms overhead and back to goddess. Last part of this sequence, bring your hands to your thighs and think about left shoulder moving towards right knee. So we're taking a twist. Pointing your left shoulder towards the right knee in the direction that is, not good. And then back to center. Now the right shoulder pointing towards the left knee. And back to center. Inhale, take it all the way up one more time and hands to heart. Now let's turn the toes, heel toe the toes in or walk your feet in. And we're going to practice eagle balance pose. So flying like an eagle, just like that song. If you'd like, you can practice the pose with your back to a wall or your side body to a wall. If you're feeling more adventurous, you can just do it on your mat. So that same kind of bendy movement that we did our sun salutation in, we're going to bend the hips, drop the hips, bend the knees to start to warm up. You can move your arms. And then we're going to take the right arm under the left, wrap your arms, and you can just stay here with your knees bent, or you can wrap your right leg over your left. Fly like an eagle. Here we go. Undo it, stretch all the way up, and relax. So we're going to do the other side now. You're going to bend your leg, maybe stretch up and down a little bit. And of course, getting ready to fly like an eagle, left arm under the right. left leg over the right. So I'll let you guys do it. Fly like an eagle. And release. Take a breath. Shake out your legs, shake out your arms. All right. Prepping to come to the front of the mat again. Well, actually, no. Let's take one more pose at the middle of the mat facing the long, and then let's step out wide with our legs. And let's take a nice triangle pose. So pivot your heels to the left and take your arms out. Stretch your left hip back and reach forward for triangle. Hope I said triangle. All right, so as you're settling in, spreading your toes, feeling the energy lift up your legs, think maybe, I don't know if you used to do this, think about drawing a flower, how you put it between a book to save a flower. So pretend your body's like a flower between the pages of a book. Front of your body, back of your body, press between the pages of a book in triangle. You can look anywhere that feels good with your neck. And then slowly with the wind of your breath, inhale and focus on coming up. Now pivot your feet towards the other direction, same thing. Right hip goes back, stretch over your left leg, and find your triangle pose. Yeah, just like a flower between the pages of a book, a heavy book. Look anywhere that feels good with your neck. And again, with your inhale, when you're ready, come all the way up. Let's turn the toes one more time. And again, start to hinge forward and bring your hands either to your ankles, your legs, or to the ground. For one last forward fold, wide-legged forward fold, you can even walk your arms forward, take a twist, so many things possible. So find 4 breaths, a place to be for 4 breaths, any version you'd like. Good. Finish that last breath here and then walk your hands back towards center and find a little flat back, a little lift. And then release your hands to the earth. Now turn the left foot, I think it should be your left, to the front of your mat and let your hands follow. Press into the earth, step back to a down dog. So now we should all be in a down dog. Take a few breaths. And then we're going to bring the right knee forward and take a pigeon pose. So you're going to bring your right leg forward. And until you feel comfortable, try to square your hips to the front. And you can be in proud pigeon, pressing into your fingertips, lifting your chest, or you can be in a resting pigeon, dropping your head on your arms. You'll know which one feels best to you. All right, steady breathing wherever you are. Let's get ready to do the other side. So shift so that your hands are pressing. Come up, proud pigeon. Tuck your back toes back to down dog. Full breath, and then we'll step the left leg forward for pigeon pose. Again, hips are square to the front of your mat. You can be on your fingertips or lower down to resting pigeon. right, find your way slowly back up and find your way slowly back to downward dog. 2 breaths in downward dog. And then we lower back down to knees and hands. Keep your toes tucked for toes pose. Toes are tucked behind you and begin to sit back over your heels. And interlace your fingers and stretch your arms up over you. Just a few breaths here, and then we're gonna move on to that meditation practice as promised. Toes pose is a great stretch for your feet, which you probably already know. All right, let's release our fingers, our arms, and come out of toes pose, tap out your feet. And then we're gonna sit in hero's pose just for a moment. So that just means sitting back on your feet. And again, we're getting ready for a little meditation. I'm going to try and do this every Saturday class through the month of February. And I encourage you to give it a go. I mentioned you might want to have a pen and paper handy to write down any reactions to what you experience. And we're going to come out of hero pose now. Now you can either sit in hero or sit on some pillows. You can sit cross-legged. You can put your back against a wall. The main thing is we want a tall spine. That's the most important thing. So we're going to have Shavasana after this meditation. So I'll find a place to sit. You can even sit in a chair with your spine upright and your feet on the floor. Okay, so I'm going to assume that you're in a comfortable posture and your spine is nice and erect. Let your hips, your thighs, and your sitting bones become heavy as they sink into the floor. And feel the breath gently lift your spine up through the crown of your head. Let your chest lift and open. As you breathe out, let your shoulder blades release down your back, and you can close your eyes. This is just a basic breath awareness meditation. So inhale and imagine that the sides of your ears move back just enough so that your head and neck feel aligned with your shoulders. Your chin should tilt slightly downward. Now please place your hands in chin mudra, which is just pressing your first finger and your thumb together. Your palms can rest face up like this or face down on your knee. Let your tongue rest on the floor of your mouth, pressing behind the bottom front teeth. And make sure your eyes are relaxed and closed. Notice as your awareness gently comes to the flow of your breath. The breath flows in and out, and just notice the sensations in the body. Let the inhale bring your attention to any places in the body that feel tense or tight. And then with the exhale, release any holding there. Let the breath bring your attention to your shoulders. And with the exhale, feel them releasing. Let the breath bring attention to your chest and belly. And with the exhale, release any holding in those areas. Inhale with the sense of allowing the breath to touch any places in your body that still feel tight. And exhale with the sense that your whole body softens and releases. Allow the breath to flow in a natural rhythm. Notice how the breath flows into the nostrils with a feeling of coolness. It flows in and down the throat, perhaps resting in the chest, and then flows out slightly warm as it passes up through the throat and out the nostrils. Notice the gentle touch of your breath as your attention gradually becomes more and more settled in the flow of the breath. If thoughts arise, just note them with the awareness that you're thinking and bring your attention back to your breathing. As the breath flows in and out, you might sense that the breath is flowing in with particles of very subtle and peaceful light and energy. They flow in with the breath, down into your body, and out with the exhale. You might visualize these light particles as white or blue or pink, or you may just sense them as waves and particles of energy. Sense the enlivening caress of the breath, being aware of the breath filling your body with light and energy particles. As it flows in through your nostrils, moves down your throat, maybe into your heart center, and then gently flows out. Enjoy the enlivening caress of your breath for a few more moments. To come out of the meditation, we'll take a deep breath in, gently let it out. A deep breath in and gently let it out. Notice how your body might feel, or your mind, or the quality of your energy. If you'd like to pick up your pen and paper and write anything that you remember or felt about this meditation, you could do that now. And then we'll get ready to release into Shavasana. So if you'd like to write or not, doesn't matter. Take a moment or so. And then we're going to release into Shavasana. So anything you need to support you in Shavasana, pillows, blankets, any props, maybe legs up the wall today, anything that would feel good. Just imagine this is your time to rest and rejuvenate and go to that shape. Set the foundation for your Shavasana by finding that shape, maybe covering up with a warm blanket. And let's begin once again with the breath. Take an inhale. And with the exhale, release any holding or tension. As you inhale, have a sense of allowing that breath to touch any places in your body that might feel tight or tense. And then exhale as you soften and release. Take another breath like that. And then just release into the ground, into this time to let everything go, and into your Shavasana.